Ladies and gentlemen, let's witness the processional of the PTA officials, guests, DepEd officials, teaching staff of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School.
Today marks another milestone to the history of our school as we honor the achievements. Welcome to this virtual graduation ceremony of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School with the theme Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic.
I am Lilibeth T. Guillermo.
I am Felipe A. Vicky Jr. Welcome to the 63rd graduation ceremony of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine National Anthem, and to be followed by a prayer.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, telas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo bagaw, ay ginatang tudlang awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang lang matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagkininig, makituwing at araw niya kailan pamay di magdidinig. Lupa ng araw ng walhagit pagsingka, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pagkay mga amin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Let's bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today in this important event. Bless everyone present here today, that each one of us may be able to share what he or she have for your glory and honor. We pray for our graduates today and lift them before you. We ask for your peace to cover them. We ask for laughter and joy to fill their days. We pray that you would give them boldness and courage to face challenges set before them, with the confidence of peace that can only come from your Spirit. Be a lamp for their feet and a light to their path. Shine over them. Fill them with your Spirit. May today be a memory that burns bright within them as they embark on life's great adventure. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We ask all of this in your name. Amen.
At this juncture, we shall now listen to the welcome remarks of our Barangay Captain, Honorable Aida C. Tumbaga.
To our guest speaker of today's affair, Mrs. Merlita Wagayen, Agustin, ma'am. To our energetic principal, Mrs. Sharon Serginia Makikat, ma'am. To all the teachers and staff of this institution, parents, friends, graduates, good afternoon. Today is the Andres Bonifacio Elementary School graduation, 63rd graduation exercise with the theme Strengthening the Quality of Education Amidst the COVID-19 Pandemic. To all parents, congratulations. To all the graduates, I congratulate each and every one of you for accomplishing your modules and attending your online class. Again, congratulations and good luck to your new journey. I now formally open the virtual graduation. Thank you.
Now, friends, ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the school officials, teachers, and guests. Our school governing council, headed by the chairman, Honorable Cesar C. Valencia. Our PTA officers, headed by President Joey D. Marcos. The barangay officials, also headed by our barangay captain, Aida C. Tumbaga. And our school head, Mrs. Sharon S. Mangakat. Also, our guest speaker for today's affair, Mrs. Merlita Wagayen Agustin.
To inspire the batch 2021 of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School, let's welcome the messages of the Honorable Mayor of Dipun, none other than May Garnas Calunan, the Regional Director, Benjamin Paragas, Deputy Secretary, Leonor M. Briones.
Isang mapagpalang oras po sa ating lahat. Ako po ay nagagalak to be a part of the graduation of all our students amidst the pandemic. Sa lahat po ng namumuno sa ating Department of Education, headed of course by Madam Flor Ecobe, sa lahat po ng ating mga barangay officials, sa ating mga magulang, of course headed by our PTCA officers, sa ating mga namumuno sa paaralan, ang ating mga district supervisors, sa lahat ng ating mga principals, sa ating mga guro, at lalong-lalo na sa ating mga estudyante na magtatapos sa school year na ito. Isang mapagpalang oras muli. to be a part of this graduation ceremony ay isang napakalaking bagay po sa abang lingkod. I would like to thank you all for making me a part of this ceremony. Ako po ay natutuwa at nagagalak sapagkat amidst of the pandemic, ang ating mga bata ay nakapagtapos na naman ng isang school year. Sabi nila magbibigay ako ng inspirational message, pero parang ako yata ang nai-inspire dahil nakita ko kung gaano yung sakripisyo na ibinigay ng ating mga guro upang maibigay ang quality education para sa ating mga estudyante. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga masisipag na guro na sila ang nagtaguyod para nang sa ganun ay maihatid ang quality education sa ating mga bata. Sa inyong mga magsisitapos sa taong ito, saludo ako sa inyo. Dahil sa pandemya, marami ang nangyari sa ating kapaligiran at hindi nakaligtas ang inyong pag-aaral. Nakita namin ang sakripisyo ng ating mga estudyante sa pagkuha ng kanilang mga modules, sa pagsagot ng kanilang modules, sa kanilang pag-aaral na parang sariling sikap dahil wala ngang face-to-face. Nai-inspire ako kasi kahit na may pandemya tayo, kahit maraming balakid, ay nakapagtapos pa rin sila. Maraming salamat sa ating mga parents na nagtiyaga, na nagturo na rin, para na rin silang nag-aral sa pagtutulong nila sa kanilang mga anak na makapagsagot sa kanilang mga modules. Ang pagtsatsaga ng mga guro na kahit sa anong paraan ginagawa nila upang maihatid lang ang edukasyon para sa kanilang mga estudyante. Da kami iti local government unit agyaman launay. Ket aramidan mi mat amin nga kabailan mi tapno makatulong kami para mapalpalag-antay latakuma iti panangted tayo, iti quality education kadagiti anak tayo. Sama-sama nating gagawin ito. Labanan natin ang pandemya. Hindi ito ang magiging balakid para hindi natin maibigay ang quality education para sa ating mga anak. Maganda yung tema natin ngayong taon na ito, kalidad ng edukasyon, lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya. Walang ibang makakaharang kahit pa ni COVID-19 sa atin para hindi natin maibigay ang edukasyon para sa ating mga anak. Mga anak na nagsisipagtapos, huwag kayong mawalan ng pag-asa dahil ginagawa natin lahat ang ating makakaya para ang edukasyon na para sa inyong mga kabataan ay maibigay natin. So ipagpatuloy ninyo ang inyong pag-aaral, huwag ninyong iisipin yung pandemya na yan, kaya natin itong labanan, pagsama-sama tayong lahat. Again, on behalf of the entire officialdom of the Municipality of Difun, sa ating mga sangguniang bayan members, sa pamumuno ng ating Vice Mayor, at ang inyong ate, ang iyong nanay, ang inyong mayor, ay handang tumulong sa inyong lahat para sa ating pagtataguyod ng inyong pag-aaral. Again, my special thanks to all our teachers na matyaga na nagtuturo sa ating mga anak sa iba't ibang pamamaraan because of this pandemic. Hindi natin hinayaan na maibigay sa kanila yung nararapat na sa kanila. So maraming salamat po sa ating mga magulang, sa mga PTCA. Maraming salamat. Tulong-tulong tayo, sama-sama tayo upang lalo nating patatagin ang edukasyon sa gitna ng pandemya. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
My cordial greetings to all. During these tough times, as we operate within imperfect circumstances, we see the unfolding of one of the most beautiful things ever made on earth, the success of our young people in their academic journey as they inch day by day towards their dreams. To our dear learners, without a doubt, during these trying times, the struggles have been real and the challenges almost insurmountable. Today, we witness sense of purpose, direction, and meaning winning over every sign of difficulty that came your way as you toiled ceaselessly in the vineyard of education. Our theme this year is strengthening the quality of education amid the COVID-19 pandemic in a huge way recognizes our strength as people who cannot be floored by even the strongest of challenges. In fact, we have proven that together, working for a common vision, we are an armada of strong-willed individuals who cannot be swayed and discouraged by tribulations. Thanks for that deep sense of motivation that makes half the job accomplished. We have also shown that innovative minds always rule the day, and that makes us prepared to confront each challenge that will beset us. The years do not promise an easy journey, and with the threat of the pandemic still lurking around, the going will get tough, and the tough must keep going. And the spirit cannot be broken and will surely prevail. It is an irrefragable fact that despite our cling to varied ways of life, we have shown how united we can be in advancing the common agenda in education. We have done our share in realizing our ultimate goal of producing holistically developed K-12 basic education curriculum graduates who are not only knowledgeable and competent, but also value-laden and discerning. We are diverse in culture, and so we may have varied performances in all that we do, but we share a common goal to be the best version of ourselves so we can be of help to others in the best way we can. Our sense of shared destiny has allowed us to bend without breaking, to attune our actions and efforts to the agenda of national leadership, but it too proved that we can do so without diminishing our long-held principles, that indeed it takes a village to raise a child. Each one of us, no matter how diverse, is a strand in the colorful fabric of human civilization. This is the value that we want you, our dear graduates, to embrace and be proud of. Our sense of identity, either on a regional or national landscape, must remain an important consideration in achieving our goals, and compromising it to favor new thoughts and ways of thinking must never be an option. We must continue to prove the world that even in the face of a dreaded pandemic, quality education can have its way through. The Department of Education Region 2 has unambiguously laid down in its Regional Education Development Plan all its projects, programs, and activities that shall inspire service above self and only about the future of learners who shall eventually assume significant roles in nation building. May you continue to be a proof that the kind of education our country is one for the world to share. Congratulations, dear parents, dear teachers, and to all of you learners. Mabuhay kayong lahat!
Good day to each and everyone who is attending virtually present at this time of our graduation ceremonies for our beloved and very precious graduates for the school year which ends at this time. First of all, I'd like to greet the parents and family members without whose sacrifices, whose reminders, and whose participation in the learning process for our graduates have resulted in this culmination program. This year, your role has changed drastically, where we've always believed that the matter of educating our children rests nearly exclusively on our teachers and our staff. This time, you parents, you family members, you who are in the households of our learners have expanded your role and contributed to this wonderful day, wherein finally, our learners are graduating in this culmination exercise. So congratulations, because this year has not been very easy, has not been a picnic for our teachers, for our family members, as well, especially the parents, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and all who have contributed to the achievement of our learners at this time. So, maraming salamat at congratulations, parents and family members. Mas malaki ang role ninyo at this time compared to earlier graduation exercises. Secondly, I would also like to greet our teachers, without whose very careful review and careful supervision of the work of our pupils and our learners, this event would not be taking place at all. And so thank you, teachers. Your role has also expanded, in addition to seeing to it that the modules are faithfully followed, the assignments are correctly implemented, and the learners are truly learning. And you have had to deal with new ways of assessing the performance also of the learners. So congratulations, teachers, for enduring, for your patience, for your love for our learners, and your willingness to engage in a way and methods of teaching which are different from those which are used to. Assessment must have been especially difficult for you, especially since you were not able to see most of the time our students in face-to-face meetings, and most of the meetings, of course, were virtual. We'd also like to thank the local government units for their interest, for their cooperation, and for their continuing contributions to the needs of education, even as our children do not go to school. Your donations of material as well as financial resources at this time are most welcome, and your advice has been taken seriously not only by our teachers, by our school officials, but also by our officials in the Department of Education. We continually talk with local government units, especially in times of disaster, in times of great need for classrooms, for space, and for responses to unforeseen emergencies. Thank you, local government units. But of course, most of the congratulatory greetings fall on the deserving graduate. Each and every one of you is truly special. You are different from the other graduates who have passed through the portals of your school. You went to school practically without seeing your teachers, if at all. You went to school with your parents, your mothers and your fathers hovering over your shoulders and seeing to it that you are able to complete your assignments. You are completing your studies at a time when examinations and assessments are different. You are culminating these long months of hard work at this time, even as you have to do family chores, even as you are distracted, and even as your world has turned upside down, and it seems and it appears as if we don't know what the future holds and what will happen next. But you have persevered, and now you are ready to graduate. And therefore, you deserve each and every bit of congratulations from us in the Department of Education, from your parents and family members, your teachers, from the officials in local government, as well as in the parent teachers associations. You deserve each and every single congratulatory pat on your back, each hug virtually, of course, and each greeting, which I am sure you are also receiving virtually. I don't know if you will remember this event many, many years from now. I have tried to recall myself who our graduation speaker was when I finished high school and when I finished my college studies. All I remember is that the graduation speaker was someone important, someone who was invited because that someone is supposed to give a message. What was more important to us graduates at that time was the excitement of the celebrations, the happiness and the joy of our parents, the sadness of parting from our classmates and from our teachers, and the enjoyment of all the graduation events that usually take place come commencement day. When I was a college student, we had a series of events which were designed to embed in our minds, which were designed to help us remember and not forget our days in college. We would spend one whole day going around the campus, visiting the classrooms, saying goodbye to our teachers, and sharing memories. We would have bonfires to say goodbye to each other. We had baccalaureate services where we committed ourselves to God and we prayed for guidance when we go out into the world. So many celebrations, and the speaker, of course, is the least important and easily forgotten component of the graduation exercise. Nonetheless, I will exert all efforts to share with you what I see are things or issues which a graduate should remember and recall. I have said that you are very special. You are very different. You are pioneering. There has been no other class like your class. There has been no other graduate like you as a graduating student, because you are the very first graduate of the blended learning response to education in the Philippines. And so you ask yourself, what awaits you in the world outside? You can either work, because the kind of curriculum you survived and underwent as a student will enable you to go to work if you wish to go to work. Some of you will proceed to further studies, and this would be a wonderful thing because there are many opportunities for further expanding your knowledge, for further answering and looking for explanations of issues, events that make you curious, especially in science, in technology, and also in the arts. So you can work, you can go to further studies, and perhaps some of you will settle down, hopefully not too soon, so you can pursue what you really want to do. So today, this is why we call this exercise a commencement exercise. It's not the end of our studies. It's not the end of all our efforts with blended learning, with modules, with floods, with earthquakes, and of course with COVID. It's a commencement of doors opening to you. More doors will be opened because you are a graduate. You can work, you can proceed for further studies, you can help your parents, and you can perhaps look for opportunities to do what you have always wanted to do, whether at work, whether at advanced studies, whether at learning more in science and technology, in mathematics, and in the arts. All of these opportunities are available to you. More doors are being opened. I hope you will select the door which arouses your curiosity, the door which will help you know more about this world. and the door which will allow you to contribute to the development of our country and contribute whatever we can to solve our problems and our challenges. Congratulations once more to each and every one of you. Congratulations to you, parents and family members. Congratulations to you, teachers. When I was chair of the board of Silliman University, each time we had graduation ceremonies, during the baccalaureate and during commencement itself, I would cry. I would cry because you are sending out into the world a new batch of graduates, and we want to be sure that what is awaiting them is appropriate. We want to be sure that they are ready for what awaits them when they select which door to open. And so, we tell you, go out to the world, do whatever you want to do. God be with you, and be assured that all of us love each and every one of you. Congratulations.
To present the candidates for completion to kindergarten and graduation for grade 6, Ma'am Sharon S. Makat, the school head of a school, will do the honor.
By the power bestowed on me as the school head of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for completion and candidates for graduation for this school year 2020-2021. For the completers, composed of 20 male and 20 female with a total of 40. And for the graduates, composed of 25 male and 23 female with a total of 48. And they have satisfactorily completed the prescribed requirements of the elementary curriculum by the Department of Education. And now, they are ready for your certification.
Our district supervisor, Ma'am Mary Ruby, will give the certification of completion.
As the district supervisor in the Food District 1, I hereby certify the candidates for completion in kindergarten and grade 6 of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School for school year 2020-2021 have satisfactorily completed the requirements prescribed by the Department of Education under the K-12 curriculum. Ma'am, they are now ready for your confirmation.
For the acceptance, confirmation, and message of the school's Division Superintendent, Dr. Flor Delisa C. Jacobe, duly represented by Sir Julius Aaron Rueda, our Education Program Supervisor in Values Education.
As a representative of the school's division superintendent, Dr. Flor Delisa C. Jacobe, Career Executive Service Officer 5, and by virtue of the authority vested on her by the Secretary of the Department of Education through the Regional Director, Dr. Benjamin D. Paragas, Career Executive Service Officer 5, after having completed all the requirements prescribed by the K-12 Basic Education Curriculum, I now accept and confirm you completers for school year 2020-2021. Congratulations and God bless. To the guests of honor and speaker, DepEd officials, school head, parents, teachers, local and barangay officials, PTA officials, other stakeholders, our dear completers, and everyone, a pleasant day to all. Ang sabi ng isang African, kailangan ng isang buong nayon upang maturuan ang isang bata. Nangangahulugan, ito nakaagapay ng mga magulang, ang mga kamag-anak, kapitbahay, mga lider sa barangay at ng lahat ng may kakayahan at maalam upang tulungan ang isang mag-aaral. Tunay na ito ay nagpapakita ng sama-sama at nagkakaisang layunin at damdamin upang maipagpatuloy ang pag-aaral at maabot ang mga pangarap kahit sa gitna ng pandemya. To our completers, we commend and congratulate you for keeping up with the changing times and finishing the race successfully this year, despite the challenges. Sana, ipagpatuloy ninyo ang sikhay at tiyaga upang makamit ang minimithi ninyong tagumpay. Sa mga guro, ang pasasalamat ng kagawaran ng edukasyon ay ipinaaabot sa inyo at umaasa na lalo pa sana ninyong pag-ibayuhin at dagdagan ang pagsisikap na maibigay ang tama at sapat na kalinga sa mga mag-aaral. We are glad that the virus did not stop you from doing what you are supposed to do and being what you should be in order to believe or to deliver quality education despite the struggles and hardship brought about by this pandemic. Thank you that you remain steadfast and passionate in what you do as teachers, exercising your role as local parentes. Truly, there is no gain if there is no pain. Sa mga magulang, ang aming maalab na pagbati sa inyong tagumpay, sapagkat ang bawat tagumpay ng ating mga anak ay sa inyo rin iaalay. Sa ibang stakeholder at knowledgeable others na matyagang sumusuporta kahit sa payak na paraan. Tanggapin po ninyo ang aming taus-pusong pasasalamat. Sa inyo mga mahal naming completers, ganap at mas maalab na pagbati sa inyong katatagan upang anihin ang bunga ng inyong pagsisikap at paghihirap. Tunay na may liwanag na hatid ng edukasyon at karunungan kahit pa sa gitna ng pandemya. Salamat sa Panginoong Diyos sapagkat kayo ay nanatiling matatag at di nagagapi sa iba't ibang unos, lalo na ang hatid ng COVID-19 pandemic. Higit nating ialay sa Kanya ang ating taus-pusong pasasalamat sa patuloy na patnubay at gabay upang makamit ang minimithing tagumpay. Muli, binabati namin kayong lahat.
To introduce our guest of honor for 2021 graduation program, let's have Ma'am Rosan May G. Talento.
Magandang hapon po sa lahat ng mga manonood sa pagkakataong ito. Isang malaking karangalan para sa akin ang maatasan na magpakilala sa inyo ng ating panauhing tagapagsalita. Siya po ay isang inspirasyon dahil sa kanyang mga nagawa sa ating bayan. Siya ay kasalukuyang naninirahan sa Ricarte Sur de Fuenquirino. May edad na 58 at kasal sa ating Honorable Cesar M. Agustin. Ang ating panauhing tagapagsalita ay anak ni na Ginoong Arsenio Jr. at Ginang Cristina Wagayen. Siya ay nagtapos ng elementarya dito sa mababang paaralan ng Andres Bonifacio sa taong 1976 at sekundarya naman sa Santiago Vocational and Industrial School sa Santiago Isabela noong 1982. Kumuha siya ng kursong midwifery noong 1992 sa Villasis Community College at Bachelor of Community Health Science noong 2005 sa pamantasang lungsod ng Maynila. Naging helper siya sa Assessor's Office sa Bayan ng Dipun mula 1993 hanggang 1994. Siya ay naging casual midwife sa RHU Dipun Quirino mula 1994 hanggang 1998. At mula 1998 hanggang kasalukuyan ay isa na siyang regular midwife sa nasabi pa ring RHU. Malugod ko pong ipinakikilala sa inyo ang ating panauhing tagapagsalita, Ginang Merlita Wagayen Agustin.
Salamat po ma'am sa napakagandang pagpapakilala sa akin at salamat rin sa pag-anyaya sa akin na magsalita ngayon. Ako'y nagagalak na dumalo sa inyong virtual na pagdiriwang ng napakagandang okasyon na ito. Sa ating kagalang-galang na District Supervisor, Ma'am Millie and Ruby, sa ating mabait na Education Program Supervisor sa ESP, Sir Julius Aaron Rueda, sa ating butihing principal, Ma'am Sharon S. Mangakat, sa ating matiyag at masipag na mga guro, PTCE officials na pinamumunuan ni Sir Joey D. Marcos, sa mga barangay officials na pinamumunuan ni Madam Aida C. Tumbaga, sa mapagmahal nating mga magulang, sa mga mag-aaral na magtatapos ngayon, mga kaibigan at sa lahat ng nanonood ngayon, isang mapagpalang hapon sa ating lahat. Sigurado kong sabik na ang mga bata at pati na rin ang kanilang mga magulang na matapos na ang programang ito upang makita na nila ang kanilang sertipiko at diploma. Pero dahil inimbitan ninyo ako, mangyaring magtiis po muna kayo at makinig sa sasabihin ko. Huwag po kayong mag-alala, iiklian ko ang aking mensahe. Ang pagbabago ay hindi maiiwasan. Darating na lamang ito na parang isang kisap mata. Ang pagtatapos ng mga mag-aaral ay isang pagbabagong inaasam-asam hindi lang ng mga bata kundi pati na rin ng mga magulang at guro. May kalungkutan sa puso dahil may paghihiwalay, ngunit higit ang kasiyahan dahil may natapos at tutungo na naman sa susunod na yugto ng kanilang buhay ang mga bata. May mga pagbabagong kanais-nais, ngunit may mga pagbabagong kung pwede lang tanggihan ay gagawin natin. Ang COVID-19 pandemic ay nagdala ng maraming pagbabago sa buhay ng tao. Mga pagbabagong hindi mo dating inaakala. Nagdulot din ang pandemyang ito ng kalungkutan at bighati sa buong mundo. Parang tumigil sa pag-ikot ang mundo nung ipatupad ang Enhanced Community Quarantine o ECQ sa bansa sa pagtatangkang kontrolin ang pagkalat ng virus. Tumigil ang operasyon ng iba't ibang industriya. Isang taong mahigit na ang lumipas mula nang malaman natin ang tungkol sa nakakahawang COVID-19, ngunit marami ng mga negosyong nagsara o nalugi. Maraming empleyado ang nawalan ng trabaho o tumigil sa pagtatrabaho at ang mga paaralan marami ang nagsara. Ipinagbawal na rin ang face-to-face learning upang maiwasan ang pagkakahawa sa virus. Sabi ng World Bank, education is a powerful driver of development and one of the strongest instruments for reducing poverty and improving health, gender equality, peace, and stability. Kaya dapat ay pagpatuloy natin ang pagbibigay ng edukasyon sa mga bata dito sa Pilipinas. Ngunit ayon na rin sa World Bank, mayroong krisis sa edukasyon sa Pilipinas na nagsimula pa bago ang COVID-19. Ngunit pinalala pa ito ng pandemya. Isa itong malungkot at nakababahalang report. Kaya naman marapat lamang na siguraduhin natin na ang ating mga anak at mag-aaral ay de kalidad ang edukasyong kanilang nakukuha kahit pa nga sa panahon ng krisis. Tunay ngang napapanahon ang temang kalidad ng edukasyon, lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya. Strengthening the quality of education amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Mabibigyan diin ng temang ito na sa gitna ng lahat ng mga hamon, ang karapatan ng mga mag-aaral sa inclusive at de kalidad na edukasyon. At sa kaligtasan mula sa mga panganib sa kalusugan ng COVID-19 ay dapat bigyan ng prioridad. Ang reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction test o RT-PCR test ay isang diagnostikong paraan upang masuri kung ang isang tao ay nagtataglay ng COVID-19. Gamitin ko naman ang RT-PCR test upang ibahagi at mas madaling tandaan ang rekomendasyong aking nabasa mula sa UNICEF o United Nations Children's Fund. Ang nakalagay sa artikulo ay makatutulong upang mabigyan natin hindi lamang ng mga guro kundi pati na rin mga magulang, ang mga bata ng dekalidad na edukasyon at mabigyan sila ng proteksyon laban sa COVID-19. Sisimulan ko na po ang RT-PCR test para sa pagsulong ng dekalidad na edukasyon. R. Routine. Plan a routine with your child and stick to it. Gamitin ang lahat ng pagkakataon na maaaring gamitin upang maturuan ang mga bata. Ngunit dapat siguruhin ding may oras sila hindi lamang para sa pag-aaral, kundi pati na rin para sa pamamahinga. Bigyan sila ng time out. Bilang magulang, siguruhing may bibigay ang anumang kailangan ng mga bata. Ang paggawa ng routine o schedule ay paaabutin natin sa eskwela. Iba ang dalang convincing power ng mga guro pagdating sa mga mag-aaral. Minsan, mas nakikinig pa nga ang mga bata sa kanilang mga guro kaysa kanilang mga magulang. Mangyaring laging ipakita at iparamdam na lagi kayong handang tumulong at umagapay sa kanila kapag kailangan nila kayo. Sa ating mga mag-aaral, sana ay hindi ninyo aksayahin ang inyong oras sa paglalaro lamang sa labas ng bahay o sa cellphone. Sana ay matuto kayong gawing parte ng inyong schedule o routine ang pag-aaral. Gamitin ang lahat ng oportunidad na makapag-aral upang magkaroon ng mas magandang kinabukasan. Matuto rin sana kayong makinig at sumunod sa mga pangaral ng inyong mga guro at mga magulang. Technology. We are blessed to have our phones, computers, internet service, and the other technological devices and applications at these times. Who knows what would have happened if these things are not invented yet during these times. Napakalaki ng papel na ginagampanan ng teknolohiya sa panahong ito. Ang paggamit nito ay isang mabisang paraan at solusyon upang magpatuloy ang paghahanap buhay ng mga tao at pag-aaral ng mga estudyante sa gitna ng pandemya. Sa pamamagitan ng ating mga gadget ay mabilis na ituturo o nabibigyan ng impormasyon ang mga estudyante tungkol sa mga module at aktibidades na kinakailangang isagawa. Dahil sa pag-iwas sa face-to-face at pagtupad sa social distancing ng mga tao, ang internet, computer o maging cellphone man ang siyang ginagamit upang ligtas at malayang makapag-usap at magtalakayan ang mga guro at estudyante. Isang napakalawak na platform na pinagkukunan ng aral, impormasyon o kaya libangan ng mga tao ngayon ang internet. May pandemya man o wala, kailangan magsipag sa pag-aaral kahit anumang paraan ang tinatangkilik. Kung gustong matuto, kumukop ng mga paraang makatutulong, face-to-face man o distant learning. Lagi nating tatandaan na ang labis na paggamit ng teknolohiya o kahit ano pa mang bagay ay maaaring magdulot ng masama at ikapahamak hindi lang ang ating sarili, ngunit ang ating kapwa. Kaya naman dapat tayong maging wais sa paggamit nito upang ito ay makapagdulot sa atin ng mabuti at magawa o magampanan natin ng tama ang ating tungkulin sa tulong ng teknolohiya. Gamitin ang teknolohiya sa tama at mabuting paraan. P. Protect children online. Digital platforms provide children an opportunity to keep learning, play, and to keep in touch with friends. This is actually interconnected with technology. Ang madalas na pag-access online ng mga bata ay may kaakibat na panganib sa kanilang mga seguridad, kaligtasan at pribadong buhay. Kaya naman marapat na mabigyang impormasyon ng mga guro, lalo na ng mga magulang, ang mga bata kung paano ang tamang paggamit ng internet. Kung ano man ang pwede at bawal nilang tignan kapag sila ay naka-online, at kung maaari ay gumawa ng schedule kung kailan lamang dapat gumamit ng internet. Kung kinakailangang mag-set up ng parental control sa kanilang gadget, gawin natin upang mapagaan kundi man napigilan ang mga peligro na nakaambas sa kanila, katulad na lamang ng cyberbullying. Pagtutulungan ng mga guro at magulang ang kailangan upang matulungang mas maging responsable ang mga bata sa paggamit ng internet. Ngunit mas magandang may operasyon din ang mga bata sa pag-iwas sa panganib na dala ng internet. C. Communication. Encourage children to talk with you, to share how they feel, and to ask questions. Ang komunikasyon ang daan upang magkaroon ng pagkakaunawaan. Mahalaga na mayroong komunikasyon sa mga bata upang maunawaan at matulungan natin sila kung sila ay may problema. Importante ring alam natin kung kailan at paano makinig kapag ang mga bata ay nagsisimulang magkwento o makipag-usap sa atin. Huwag tayong magalit kaagad, magbigay ng negatibong reaksyon, o kaya ay mangaral upang hindi sila mag-alinlangan o matakot na magpatuloy sa pagsasalita. Ibigay ang buong atensyon sa kanila kapag kinakausap nila tayo, at siguraduhin alam ng mga bata na maaari silang lumapit at makipag-usap ng walang alinlangan kung kailangan nila tayo. Tandaan, communication is not just about talking or expressing. It's about listening and understanding too. Relaxation. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Is a proverb which means that without time off from work, a person becomes both bored and boring. Madalas nating sabihin na ang edukasyon ang susi sa tagumpay. Ngunit hindi naman nangangahulugang gugugulin na ang lahat ng oras para sa pag-aaral. Dapat balanse pa rin. May oras para sa pag-aaral at may oras para sa paglilibang o pamamahinga. Gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, dapat maging parte ito ng routine ng mga bata. Hindi pwedeng tutok lang buong araw sa aralin. Maging sensitibo sa asal at pagtingin ng mga bata tungkol sa pag-aaral nila. Obserbahan kung pressured o stressed na sila para makaiwas sa mas malaking problema o di naman kaya'y paghihinagpis. D. Take care. Walang pinipiling edad, lahi o kasarian ang COVID-19. Lahat maaaring mahawaan ng virus na ito. Kaya naman kinakailangang pag-ibayuhin natin ang pag-iingat sa panahon ngayon. Bawat isa ay may responsibilidad na dapat gawin upang maiwasan ang pagkalat ng sakit na ito. Ang gobyerno natin ay nagtakda ng standard health protocols upang sa gayon ay maiwasan ang paghahawaan ng COVID-19. Ano-ano nga ba ang mga ito? Palaging magsuot ng face mask at samahan na din ng face shield, lalong-lalo na kung nakikipag-usap. Ugaliin ang wastong paghuhugas ng kamay. Kung walang tubig at sabon, gumamit ng alcohol o alcohol-based sanitizer. Panatilihin ang physical distancing. Umiwas sa mataong lugar. Responsibilidad nating sundin ang health protocols na itinakda. Ngunit maliban sa mga ito ay may iba pa tayong pwedeng gawin upang mapangalagaan ang ating kalusugan. Kumain ng masusustansyang pagkain. Uminom ng 8 hanggang 10 baso ng tubig sa isang araw. Dapat ay sapat ang pahinga o oras ng tulog. Mag-ehersisyo at umiwas sa mga bisyo. Huwag nating abusuhin ang ating katawan upang hindi tayo madaling magkasakit. E. Emotion and empathy. Dr. Lisa Ramor, a psychologist, monthly New York Times columnist, and a mother said, that parents should be calm and proactive with their children about COVID-19. Also, children take their cues from their parents. They can feel if you are feeling anxious or not. Provide your children with a sense of safety and security. Learn to empathize with how the children feels regarding coronavirus in their studies. Remember that what you feel is different from what your child feels. S. Stay in touch with the education facility. Staying informed and getting more guidance can be possible by staying in touch with your child's schools or teacher. Huwag pong mahiyang makipag-ugnayan sa guro ng mga anak. T. Trust God. In Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path." Magtiwala po tayo sa ating Diyos sa lahat ng gagawin natin sa ating buhay. Tapos na po ang RT-PCR test ko ngayong araw na ito. Ngunit bago po ako magpaalam ay nais ko pong sabihin na noon pa man wala pang COVID-19 ay maraming pagsubok na ang kinaharap ang mga tao na may kinalaman sa edukasyon. May COVID-19 man o wala, ang importante sama-sama nating harapin at labanan ang krisis na ito. Magtulungan tayo sa pagtataguyod ng dekalidad na edukasyon. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Congratulations graduates, congratulations dear parents. Mag-ingat po tayo palagi. God bless and mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you for the inspiring message to our graduates and completers, Madam Merlita, Wagayen, Agustin.
To award the medal of our honor pupils, may I call in our school head, none other than Madam Sharon S. Marakat.
Barakel Dirk Alvin C. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alvin E. Barakel. Bikyo Philip Cheese with honor. Parent, Miss Jessica A. Bikyo. De la Cruz Ezekiel O. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ferdy S. de la Cruz. D. Emijan A. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Emmanuel M. D. Fernandez Joff Andre A. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jomi Fernandez. Bonsai John Rafael G. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Eddie N. Bonsai. Ramon Neil Brian C. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Adrian C. Ramon. Ancheta Arlene Grace N. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Christian A. Ancheta. Lakaden Melka Jane A. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Charlie E. Lakaden. Lopez Swensen D. with honors. Parent, Miss Jennifer D. Lopez. Lucas Annie Jane N. with honors. Parent, Miss Janet Napadawan. Nanglihan Mika Joy V. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Romeo B. Nanglihan. Ramos Queen Dana Lemelialin V. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dionisio Ramos. Sicolies Maria Elaine R. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Emmanuel L. Secolyes, Tabuno Linchi D. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Toricel G. Tabuno. For the distribution of certificates for the completers and graduates of Batch 2021, our Municipal Mayor, May Garnasa Calaunan, will do the honors. Completers for Kindergarten, Batch 2020-2021.
Adhayon Moses Baliwan. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Sunny Adhayon. Amugis Renwer Steve Alonso. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rene Amugis. Bacani Rans Ortez. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Enrique Bacani. Budoy Lexus Kinchkley. Parents, Merly Budoy. Kapuyo Clark Jimuel Halawad. Parents, Jerome Kapuyo. Chavez Israel Kasuga. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edgar Chavez. De la Cruz Jemer Lucero. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Emel De La Cruz. De La Cruz Reden Liam Ethan Tikdan. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Redentor De La Cruz. Idilio Jerex Reyes Sibayan. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Reggie Idelio.
Stavlio Jemar Kaiden E. Feliciano Anthony Jr. Ed.
Manzano Bon Andre Aaron. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edward Manzano. Nishimoto Shin Frost Can de la Cruz. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Nick Nishimoto. Pasqua Renji Lloydy Escobar. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Reggie Pasqua. Pindog Genrib Jude Cayetano. Parents, Terso Pindog. Rivera Paul Jedrich Ramos. Parents, Paul Rivera.
Serrano Romer Dixie C.
Sonsa Roderick Jr. Lacaden. Parents, Roderick Sonsa. Takadena Aldrin Tidang. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Mortimer Takadena. Takadena Mark J.D. Antonio. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Takadena. Barakaw Angeli Tubera. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Willie Barakaw. Bayan Faith Aliyah Nicole Gabatin. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Charlie Bayang Jr. Carbonel Prezia Kate Berbon. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Freddy Carbonel.
De Leon Rihanna M.
De La Cruz Liana Alexa Adwincula. Parents, Aris De La Cruz. Dorothy Rachel Faith Fernandez. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ramon Dorone. Ginid Kendra Kate Buligon. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Gined. Hunnog Altea Joy Manakdol. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joel Hunnog. Hamyas Akiya Rhoda Ash Baniked. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ricky Hamyas. Hamyas Darlene Gail Maingit. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hamyas Alex.
Manzano Jasmine B. Mapalad Rain Saril. Mateka Samantha C.
Metorada Jesame Alvarez. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joselito Metorada.
Naiuiu Amay A.
Patol Charlotte Luis Tiñoso. Parents, Charles Mark Patol. Reyes Arian Clay-Marie Cabanban. Parents, Clyde Arian Lu Reyes.
Amayo Amira Joy R.
Valencia Lauren Vale Natinol. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jake Valencia. Yadaw Jana Isabel Carbonel. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jasper Yadaw.
The graduates of Batch 2020-2021. Afan Hartwayne Kyle D. Parent, Mrs. Julia D. Gatan. Amino Muhajid L. Parent, Mr. and Mrs. Anthony B. Amino. Barakel Dirk Alvin C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alvin E. Barakel. Bauil Justin P. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joey P. Bauil. Bikyo Philip Cheese. Parent, Miss Jessica A. Bikyo. Briones Mark Lian T. Parents, Marcelino R. Briones Jr. Bule Elazar D. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Nino Bule. Concepcion Mark Adrian T. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Norley D. Concepcion. De la Cruz Ezequiel O. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ferdy S. de la Cruz. Drapiza Nico V. Parents, Virgilio D. Drapiza. D. Emijan A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Emmanuel M. D. Feliciano Aaron J. L. Parents, Anthony D. Feliciano. Fernandez Joff Andre A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jomi Fernandez. Foyos John Fitzgerald Kennedy C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. John III Foyos. Gonsay John Rafael G. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Eddie N. Gonsay. Ginid Jess Kenny Den B. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dennis H. Ginid. Hamyas Junard J. L. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jackie B. Hamyas. Mangawang John Michael M. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joel D. Mangawang. Manuel Mark Tonton M. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tony Manuel. Palakpak Macjan A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jomar T. Palakpak. Palaganas Roderick P. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Romeo Palaganas Jr. Ramon Neil Brian C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Adriano C. Ramon. Sansano Mark Jasper B. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Eduardo Sansano. Santa Maria Mark Angelo R. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Santa Maria. Suyu Kim Daniel S. Parent, Miss Jennifer Sibayan. Abanil Andrea. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Arvin Abanil. Ancheta Arlene Grace N. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Christian A. Ancheta. Antipuesto Princess Eliza D. Parents, Edelbert T. Antipuesto. Bandao Brizel C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey D. Bandao. Castillo Alessandra A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alex B. Castillo. Katbagan Aika Shielo M. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Renato B. Katbagan. De Asis Saina Nicole S. Parent, Miss Donna May M. Soriano. E Jose Laika Joy Emariel D. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edmar C. E Jose. Galindo Laurecia May L. Parents, Florante U. Galindo. Lakaden Melka Jane A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Charlie E. Lakaden. Lopez Swensen D. Parent, Miss Jennifer D. Lopez. Lucas Annie Jane N. Parent, Miss Janet Napadawan. Nanglihan Mika Joy V. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Romeo B. Nanglihan. Oligan Gia Cassandra C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Avelino D. Oligan. Oligan Renalyn G. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Renato D. Oligan. Pindog Maria Teresa Faith C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tirso D. Pindog. Ramos Queen Dana Lay Milea Lynn V. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dionisio Ramos. Sadang Angel Laika A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Patrick T. Sadang. Salcedo Cyril Wayne C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Robbie L. Salcedo. Secolies Maria Elaine R. Parents, Emmanuel L. Secolies. Tabuno Linchi D. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Toricel G. Tabuno. Tamayo Jamaica Rose P. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rodolfo T. Tamayo. Tubera Kate Angeline C. Parent, Mrs. Viverlyn C. Tubera. At this juncture, may we listen to the words of gratitude of the Batch 2021 by Swensen D. Lopez.
To our viewers, PTA and barangay officials, to our municipal officials, dear parents, dear teachers, fellow graduates, to our school head Ma'am Sharon, to our energetic district supervisor Ma'am Mary M. Ruby, to our program education supervisor in ESP Sir Julius Aaron Rueda, to our guest speaker, good afternoon. It's me, Swensen, and I'm here to give my sincerest gratitude to everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak before you and show how grateful I am to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank my family for being so supportive and guiding me throughout these years. They have made all the memories that we had ever since my kindergarten days. The right choice in choosing this school for me, and I'm blessed about that. To all my friends and classmates, thank you for spending time with me, especially during those days that I needed you the most. I will treasure me. First of all, I would like to thank my family for being so supportive and guiding me throughout these years. They have made the right choice in choosing this school for me, and I'm blessed about that. To all my friends and classmates, thank you for spending time with me, especially during those days that I needed you the most. I will treasure all the memories that we had ever since my kindergarten days. I will surely smile and even laugh as I remember those days wherein we were scolded for being so noisy and pasaway to the point that we were even tagged as the worst section. To our beloved teachers, my gratitude for all the patience, understanding, guidance given to us. We, your students, learned a lot. We acquired knowledge in cooking and how to be creative at all times. We truly honor your effort and hard work. I would like to extend my gratitude to our school head, Ma'am Sharon S. Mangaka. We honor you for leading the school amidst the pandemic. It was great. I still remember the first time I stepped on this school, there were a lot of people. At first, I was shocked. I was challenged. But when I started to focus on learning and understanding things, I realized that my journey has started. It was like a journey of mixed emotions. They were happy, sad, fun, and challenging times. It was like a joyride of life. And this day has finally come. I thought this is already the end of my journey. But then, I know that this is just the beginning of another journey of my life. Everything was so fast, It felt like we have just started yesterday and now it's moving up time. For the last time, thank you for the memorable memories and for the great experience. Thank you. Thanks to all the teachers who made my stay here in Abes a very fruitful one. Above all, thank you to our Almighty God for the guidance and protection bestowed on me. Once again, it's Swensen, signing off as a student of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School and finally moving up. We've been through a lot, but it's worth it because we've made it. Congratulations to us and good luck to our next chapter as high school student. Thank you.
For the Pledge of Loyalty, let's have Queen Dana naming Lealyn V. Ramos of Batch 2021.
We, the graduates of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School, do hereby solemnly pledge our infinite loyalty to her ideals, uphold standard, and endeavor to perform our duty to God and our country, and to render service to the best of our ability to our fellow men. For in doing so, we shall make ourselves worthy sons and daughters of our beloved alma mater.
Before we end this program, may we call in our guest speaker, Mrs. Merlita Agustin, to lead the alumni oath.
Please stand, raise your right hand, and follow after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear to faithfully fulfill my duties as graduate of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School, imbued by the spirit of its mission to serve the needs of the pupils. I will endeavor to earn my own place among alumni who, by their devotion to this ideal, have brought recognition and honor to our alma mater. I will commit myself to the highest standard service to my community and country. I will provide moral, intellectual, and financial support through the Alumni Association, and I will encourage others to contribute and participate in the activities and noble work of Andres Bonifacio Elementary School.
Our PTA President, Joey D. Marcos, will give his closing remarks.
Sa ating pinakamagandang punong guro sa buong Pilipinas, Ma'am Sharon Makat, at sa lahat ng gwapo at masisipag at magagandang na guro sa paaralang ito, sa mga kapwa magulang at mga magsipagtapos sa araw na ito, binabati ko kayong lahat ng isang maligaya at mapagpalang araw. Mapalad tayo at kahit anong pagsubok ang pinagdaanan natin, na kaya pa rin natin na itaguyod ang pag-aral ng ating mga anak. Sa pagsubok na ito ay hindi hadlang upang makamit ng ating mga anak ang kanilang mga pangarap na makatapos. Para sa inyong mga batang magsipagtapos, mahalin ninyo ang pag-aaral, mahalin ninyo ang iyong mga magulang, at dinggin ninyo ang kanilang mga payo upang makamit ninyo ang iyong mga pangarap. Study hard, but enjoy it. Masarap mag-aral, lalo na pag masaya ka. Para sa mga magulang na narito, maging po ang mga lula, lolo, mga tito, tita, o sino mang nagpapaaral sa inyo. Saludo po ako sa inyo. Para sa mga guro na narito, isa pong pagpupugay ang ibibigay ko sa inyo dahil sa pagluhubog ninyo sa mga batang ito na magsipagtapos sa paaralang ito. With that, congratulations and God bless you all.